Yo, hey y'all. Alright, so I'm going to discuss and go on a quick rant about the brand new Texas Chainsaw 3D that I went and saw in the theater last night. Alright, so the movie online, as far as people online, the community, are split into two. There are fans who either enjoyed it, or there are fans on the other side that fucking abhorred and hated it. Alright? Fortunately for myself, I fall into the former category of actually enjoying it. Now, I'm going to preface this also, that there will be a little minor spoilers in this review, so if you have not seen the movie and you don't want to know absolutely nothing about it, then you may not want to watch this review. But I'm going to try not to spoil it too much, just a little few things here and there. But now, let me just also start out by saying that, is this movie perfect? No. Now, can I also say that's a good horror film? Maybe not quite. But is it as bad as a lot of the reviews online by critics and even some fans are saying? Is it as that bad? No, I don't think so whatsoever. Actually, like I said, I came out enjoying the movie, but there are some quips about it. You know, everything from the realistic timeline of the film didn't quite make sense. But the things I did like about the film, I will jump into. First off, for the mission alone of this movie in 3D, in the very beginning, you get a quick recap of everything from the original 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, from the beginning, middle, and end recap in high-def 3D. All right? That right there was alone the mission. All right, let me say. But the movie literally picks up right after the events of Sally escaping, with the town sheriff coming to the house to dispense justice with the Sawyer family. And the Sawyer families are a little apprehensive about it, but before they actually try to give in, and sending Jedediah Sawyer, a.k.a. Leatherface, out to meet his to get judgment from the sheriff, a vigilante mob that just caught wind of everything that happened from the night before shows up on the property and dispenses their own justice unlawfully. And basically it goes down with the house being burned down and the family presumed dead. And jump to the present times, and yes, it does take place in present times due to all the smartphones and FaceTime and all that stuff. Our lead character, Heather, is a grown-up girl in her 20s, working, doing her morbid arts with bones and stuff. But little does she realize that she is the offspring from that family, because as a baby she was stolen, and right after her mother was killed by the vigilante mob. And now she's grown up. Well, the thing that a lot of people have a problem with this, and you know, yes, I kind of do too, but I was like, I'll let it out the window and say, fuck it. The character in this film had taken place in present times, everyone knowing that the original took place in the 70s, the opening did, of this film. She should not be in her 20s. She should definitely be in her late 30s or 40s or whatnot. But, oh well, you know, I guess they really didn't put too much thought into that. But you know what, still, I ended up liking the film. The reasons why is that because it stays simplistic and gritty like the original. However, does it not even top, but does it match the original's geniusness that Tobe Hooper did with the atmosphere, dread, palpable tension, the fright factor by just the maddening going on? No, it doesn't even match that. Like I said, this is not the original film, but it is a direct sequel to it. You know, now also a lot of people who are fans of the 2003 remake by Michael Bay's company Platinum Dunes and its 2006 prequel might also be kind of turned off from this one, because it's not those films. And thank God, because, you know, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of those remakes. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that, not that they're bad films. They're not bad films. They're beautifully shot films, and they're actually well done. However, after a whole decade of Michael Bay remakes, from everything from Texas Chainsaw Massacre to Friday the 13th to The Hitcher to Amityville Horror, Nightmare on Elm Street, with everything looking the fucking same, everything looking like it's from Texas, everything being in sepia tones. Over the decade, I got kind of tired and wiped out by Michael Bay films, the remakes. So I'm glad that this movie did not come off looking or feeling like a 2003 Michael Bay Platinum Dune Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's just me, you know? But like I said, this movie is to follow the events of the original. And like I said, the character Heather, now grown up, finds out she's got an inheritance from a grandma that she never knew existed. And she goes, and her family, her and her friends go to travel to Texas, to New Texas, to the town, to gather her inheritance or see what it is. And that's when everything shit hits the fan. Little does she know that Verna, her grandmother, you know, left her the property as assets among other things. But also, there is a cousin living in the cellar of this big mansion that she's got to take care of, that she didn't know about. And we all know who that is. That's Leatherface. This movie I also liked about it was that it went back to the original ideas about Leatherface. One thing I want to say, a lot of people bitched in reviews that, oh, this guy's not physically intimidating. He's not like 6'8", you know? Well, thank fucking God, because guess what? Gunnar Hansen, who originally played Leatherface in the very original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, wasn't a fucking stuntman. He wasn't muscular, and he wasn't some big mammoth. He was an average fucking guy, and that to me was what made it fucking scary. You know? I didn't care for the remakes with them having a fucking stuntman, a big muscular hulking stuntman playing Leatherface. It was unrealistic to me. He wasn't scary. Okay, what scares me is actually the mundane averageness of things, of being able to do horrible things, and that's what this was. They casted an actor who looks like an average, but maybe a big guy, but not like stunt player big, but a redneck looking guy as Leatherface, and I thought he did an admirable job as Leatherface in it. That's just me personally. I liked how they harkened back to not everything being a chainsaw murder, but like, you know, using hammer mallets, meat cleaving someone to death. You know, you get all this stuff, but you get some chainsaw deaths and some bisections and all that. But it's not always all about the chainsaw like the original. People died by with hammerheads being smashed in the head with hammers and all that. There's several little homages to the original. Everything from the dead armadillo on the road to a body being stuffed in a big long freezer, and that startles someone when they open it. You know, we all know what that's a reference to, and that's Pam in the original, but that happens again too in this new one. Also, the gore was pretty well done. I thought the characters were not as detestable as I thought and read about, although some characters suck in it and do deserve to die, but others were not so as bad as I expected. I was real nervous about Trey Songz, this rapper named Trey Songz in the film, because anything I hate about horror films is when they have to cast some hip-hop rapper in it. We all know how fucking Busta Rhymes went down in Halloween Resurrection, and thank God this was not the case with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Trey Songz. You know, it was just kind of averagely done performance and character. It was nothing big and boisterous like what Busta Rhymes was in Halloween 8. Thank God. But also, like I said, this film also went back to the original ingredients of the original, basing a lot of things on Ed Gein, the serial killer from Wisconsin in the 1950s. Norman Bates, Leatherface and his family, and Buffalo Bill of Silence of the Lambs are all based on. Everything from being gravedigger still to digging up his grandmother's corpse and leaving it in the house to fill company. All that stuff I liked because it went back to kind of basics of the original, you know. Now this movie does take some twists and turns with Heather's character, and she has a character arc toward the middle and end of the film that some people either liked or some people hated. I liked it. I thought it was well done because before I knew about the character arc, which I kind of already did, I was like, how the fuck are they going to pull this off? But they did pull it off because as this saying goes, blood is thicker than water. That's what you need to remember about this movie. It's all about family and keeping your context with your family. So us knowing that Heather is part of the family to Leatherface, that's all I will say. All right, but anyhow, also it takes on a kind of a Frankenstein theme with is the is the monster truly the monster or people really the monster? And this is in reference to back in the 70s, right, in the 70s portion of the film where it picks up right when the first one left off in the prologue, like I said, the town dispenses their own vigilante justice to kill the family. Well, that kind of comes to nip them in the ass years later, when it presently takes place. So you get to know that some of the townspeople that wrongfully killed some of the other family members and stuff, you know, well, they got, you know, let's just say Leatherface and Heather have an axe to grind or a chainsaw to rev for that. And anyway, but I digress. This movie, like I said, it's not perfect. I can't even say it's like a good horror film, but it was an entertaining, good sequel. You know, a lot of fans will probably like it better than the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 4 of The Next Generation with Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey, and they'll probably like it better than Texas Chainsaw 3. Now, I'm not going to compare it to the original 1986 Part 2 because to me, the 1986 Part 2 is fucking genius and great as well. I love that movie. So I did not, it's not like this is better than that, and it's not like I actually consider this the true sequel. It's just an interesting, go in it looking at it like, okay, well, as an alternative to what would follow after the events of Part 1 with Sally escaping, what would happen? this is another little idea. That's another variation of a thing. So I think some people should go check it out. You know, kind of don't read. I mean, if you read the reviews like I did before I saw it, because trust me, when I went and saw when I went to the theater, I was like, this movie's gonna suck. So I read all these reviews. I walked out pleasantly surprised and happy. Like I said, it's got some good kills. It harkens little thematic things from the original, harken back to the original and to this one, the elements of it. And but like I said, the timeline of the movie with aside, because that didn't make sense. There were things that were cool about this movie, you know. Yes, some of the characters are all kind of the same stock assembly, you know, manufactured characters you see in all the Hollywood horror films of now. But the movie had its merits, you know. It wasn't the shit fest that some people are making out to be. Okay, come on. If you can go see a fucking Saw 5, 6, and 7, you can fucking sit through Texas Chainsaw 3D. Okay, just go check it out to see the variation of how it could have ended. You know, from everything from the beginning. And also, if you're a big fan and you want to see some shit in high def in 3D from the original, go check it out. It does not disappoint in the beginning. But anyhow, so that's really all I gotta say about the Texas Chainsaw 3D. It's not a perfect film. It's not a great film, or even that really I could say good. But it's very passable. It's very entertaining and it's fun. You know. Fun when it needs to be. It has its brutal murders in it. It's got some damn good chase scenes involving the woods, from the house to the woods to a carnival sequence. And, you know, like I said, you have little minor threads from the original kind of thrown in there too to kind of tie things up. And, I mean, I liked it. Now, like I said, the twist set toward the third act of the film, where you find out that the character of Heather goes from being scared of Leatherface, not knowing who the fuck he is, to realizing who he is and being on his side. The way they actually turned about doing that, I actually liked. Because in the film, later in the film, after she's saved from the chase of being chased by Leatherface, and she finds out from the private files of inside the police, in the police station, what happened to her family, how they were wrongfully killed, how it was covered up by the town, all that stuff. And that kind of starts to screw to turn loose in her head when she realizes that this town's not perfect as that, or are as innocent as they make themselves out to be. They're just as evil or ugly people as the Sawyers are. Hence its Frankenstein theme. And I dug it. I liked it better than how they made this family sympathetic in the 2003 remake by making Leatherface a picked-on little boy with, you know, cancer of the face or no nose or whatever, so he has to wear masks. I didn't like that. I like this better. Like I said, Leatherface goes back to being the Ed Gein-esque character he was, wearing girls' dresses, putting makeup on, wearing masks based on, you know, what emotion or personality he's feeling at the moment. And there's also a cool moment in there where he puts a new face on, and he sews the face literally into his face. He has a hole in his cheek where he pulls the thread through and ties it, so it's literally to his face. I kind of liked that. That was pretty fucking cool. But anyway, I didn't hate the movie. I actually came out enjoying it. But like I said, I'm not going to consider it its true remake, because to me the true sequel is the 1986 sequel by Tobe Hooper. But this was a cool follow-up. It was a cool way to look at it and see what could have really happened to the events after the original, and how they actually reproduced the house, the property, everything from the original was fucking top-notch. So I have to give thumbs up to that. A for effort on that. But anyway, I enjoyed the film. I didn't hate it like a lot of people did. And like I said, it's kind of some good dumb fun, and it's just another variation on a theme to check out, you know. So I liked it better than some of the other installments, or I liked it better than the remake. I know that. So that's my little quip on that. And go check it out if you liked it. If you hated it, comment below. But I thought it had some good merits to it. It had a good pace. It wasn't ever boring. And the chase scenes were pretty fucking rad. Some of the deaths were rad. And like I said, I enjoyed the little specks from the original thrown into there just for good measure. So just know that. It's not a perfect movie. And it's got its faults. Oh, believe me, it has its faults. But, you know, oh well, what can you do? I enjoyed it. I came out happy. So give it a chance sometime. You know, don't always listen to every review you see or read, because I did the same. Or if I had done the same, I wouldn't see the movie. But I actually, like I said, read all these reviews, then saw it and liked it. I don't know what movie these reviewers saw, but it wasn't the same one I saw. But anyway, and one last thing I gotta say. Another reason to go see it is because it's another fucking Texas Chainsaw movie in the theaters. Enough reason to go see it. Anyway, I digress. I'm done. And peace out. Bye.